So Raymond King, just introduce yourself to my audience.
Sure.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Raymond King, and I've been in the domain name business since about 2000,
Okay.
and
Yeah.
currently running top-level design. We're the new registry for .wiki,
Done.
.inc, INK,
Okay.
and .design.
Okay. So how did you got the idea of these extension .wiki, .design?
Sure.
How did you got this idea?
Yeah. So the first extension that I was really focused on was .wiki. I've run a nonprofit in the space called ICANNWiki.
ICANNWiki. Okay.
Have you heard of that before?
Yeah. I have heard about
Yeah.
this. It is a domainers where you share information about the domainers around the world. I think.
It's really I would say it's more focused on ICANN.
ICANN. Yeah.
So of course there are a lot of domain.
Domain.
I mean, they're domain industry professionals.
Yeah, domain industry professional.
There are domainers there, but I would say ICANN is more, policy and then registries
Policy.
and registrars.
Okay.
So ICANNWiki has information that's about the ICANN process, policy, and has profiles on people and companies in the space. Yeah, so basically, I've run ICANNWiki for a long time. I had a wiki company called About Us.
About Us. Okay.
Yeah, it was creating, using wiki technology as a way to rapidly build content.
Okay.
And we did that around information about domain sites.
Okay.
And we built the information very rapidly. So, that was kind of an exercise in building content.
Okay, so how do you promote your business right now? .wiki, .design. Do you use social media for promotion, or you create some good content?
Yeah, we do all those things. So I think the three different TLDs are different. So with wiki, we have start.wiki, which helps people either acquire a .wiki name.
.wiki names.
Helps them understand how to install a wiki. If you say I want to install a blog, you say I want to use WordPress or something like that,
something
right?
Like this, yeah.
In the wiki world, you would use MediaWiki. It's the equivalent of WordPress.
Okay.
And that allows you it creates the wiki framework, and then you can begin to populate it with content.
Okay.
But the difference is that a blogger typically writes articles, people comment. In a wiki environment, people collaborate and build articles together. So we're building content. We're encouraging other people to get wiki names, and that's how that's growing.
How does it?
For .inc, .inc has a few different audiences. So people who have body ink, like tattoo models, or tattoo parlors, tattoo artists, and we go to conferences, and we're looking for great founders to jump on the name.
Names. Okay.
So we've got .inc for that industry, also .inc for writers and bloggers.
Okay.
It's like the ink.
Ink, yeah.
Right. So a lot of people might you might get Jitendra.inc, for example. It could be like your ink.
So you're offering me this domain right now?
Right now.
I'm just kidding.
Right now.
I'm just kidding. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, but if you had I know you have a professional, kind of blog, but if you had a personal blog, you wanted to put some,
personal thoughts into it.
Yeah, exactly. It might be that type of thing you can do. And then also the ink industry, so like Hewlett-Packard, Epson, people who sell actual ink. Those are our different markets for .inc.
Okay.
And .design similarly has multiple target audiences.
Multiple target audiences. Okay.
Right. So a lot of TLDs might have a single audience, but design would have interior designers, graphic designers, web designers, furniture designers, or lighting designers. A lot of different kinds of designers. So what we're doing is we're going to the industry conferences, like the American Institute of Graphic Artists, the AIGA, has a conference that we go to, or the AIA, the American Institute of Architects. So we're going to those conferences and trying to expose the .design to design professionals. Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. So do you think that the content is very important when you're promoting your own brand? Content.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think, content on websites obviously is what attracts
the audience.
More audience. Right.
Yeah.
So our goal is to put the names in the hands of people who are going to use them, and really by putting content up, other people will see it. It's like the very most popular new TLD site according to Alexa was a .wiki site.
.wiki site.
Because wiki tends to allow people to create quality content.
Quality
quickly.
content, yeah. Okay.
Right.
So my next question is, what makes domain names so powerful from an investment standpoint? Do you want to share some thoughts?
Sure. Yeah. Well, domain names are like real estate, and it's there's a limited supply.
Yeah, limited supply. Yeah.
Right. And I think that we've got 116 million names or whatever in the .com space. Obviously, it's very dominant, and the beauty of the new TLDs is that you have more availability at the second, to the left of the dot. You have a lot more availability of great domain names. And now the domain names mean something. So if you have a domain name like graphic.design, you know what's going to
graphic
be
doesn't
right. Exactly. And each one's unique. So it's an opportunity. It's like 1995 all over again today.
Over again. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. So I just want to ask you one more question. That do you think that investment in .com is better than investment in .net, .org? These TLD extensions have much more investments.
You said .com versus .net or .org?
Yeah. .net,
like,
.asia. Yeah.
Or maybe the question is around vintage TLDs like
is
.com versus new TLDs.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that right now we're still in a .com world.
Yes, yeah. People prefer to buy the .com over any .net, .org TLD extension.
Right, but that may change.
Yeah.
In fact, I think that's very likely to change because the new TLDs carry more value, more semantic value.
Right? Right.
So in order to say .com, like you don't know what's there.
It's global. Right? It's globally targeted.
Right, exactly. But if you get a name that's like .plumber or .design or .wiki, you have a good sense of what that is.
So just like this Domainfest.asia.
Exactly.
Example.
Well, there's the geography, Vegas, NYC, Asia.
Yeah.
I think all makes sense. You have professions like .law, .plumber, .design. And I think that like in the old days, if you look at .com, and when info came out and biz came out, these are alternatives to .com. So I couldn't get the .com. But now, if you have an extension that matches your passion or your profession, it's better than a .com.
It's better than a .com.
Right.
Okay. So what are the advantages of having .wiki over .com domains? So you want to share some ideas on this?
Yeah. Well, I think the key thing is that people understand where they're going. So if you go to a .wiki, you're going to a site that's collaborative, one where people are going to build something together, and it's a spirit of, Wiki is very open.
Wiki is very open, yeah.
Right. So you're conveying that immediately. I think there's a search advantage. Obviously, Google's not going to divulge their algorithm. But you know that the domain, the top level domain is a strong indicator of the type of site. Like you're not going to, if you have a .dentist, you're not going to put, some crazy other site there, right?
Yeah. Okay. So one more question is there, that how to grab and expire domain names.
Okay. You may know that my first company was Snapnames.
Snapnames, yeah.
Right. And, the idea behind Snapnames was to watch the names that were dropping from the registry.
From the registry, yeah.
Right. And then what we did was, when the names became available, we tried to grab them.
Right. So did you use any tools to grab these names, or did you use any softwares?
Well, actually, the very first version of Snapnames, all we did was, like, I wrote a little utility, and it would every hour it would check the Whois record and see if there was a change in the Whois record. Right. And then if there was a change, then it emailed me back.
Okay.
And so that was, like, by today's standards, very slow. But back then, it was faster than than checking it manually. So then what happened? We just made that faster and faster over time. By the time we were done, we had hundreds of servers, and they were right next to the registry.
Right next to the registry.
So when the name came out, we're like pounce on it. But I think that for a person wanting to grab an expired domain name, you would first off figure out what registrar the name is at. So depending on the registrar, that would indicate maybe which service you might want to use. Right? And if you're not sure, you might want to sign up with multiple services. Because the average person doesn't want to build the technology to grab a name within 5 milliseconds of when it's available.
Are there any Whois softwares online from where you can track multiple domain owners' name? Whois softwares?
You mean like
whois.com? Suppose I have a domain name xyz.com, so you want to know who's the owner of this. So are there any softwares available in the market which can tell you that who is the owner of this domain?
Right. Well, domain tools.
Domain tools. Okay.
Yeah. That'd probably be the one I would recommend.
The domain tools. Any more tools out there in the market right now?
I think a lot of registrars, may have tools, but I wouldn't know exactly what their names are.
Okay. Yeah. So my last question is that how's your experience at Domainfest.asia? How's it going right now?
So far, so good. I'm enjoying. I think the session's been great.
Okay.
And one of the things that we're trying to do is really to figure out how to approach the Asian market.
Asian market right now. It's growing big. It's growing big right now. Asian market.
I think so.
Yeah.
And it's a little, especially China. Is more complicated. They've got additional policy and regulations and cultural issues and things like that. So I think coming out here in person and getting to meet people and talk and listen to sessions has been really valuable.
Okay, so I just want to ask you one more question: that what are the copyright issues involved in acquiring a domain? Are there any trademark policies that one should follow? So you want to share some insights on this?
Yeah, well, I think with regard to, when you say copyright, do you mean trademark?
The trademark, yeah.
Okay, because I think the trademark issues are typically more prevalent when registering the domain name. Copyright issues be more prevalent when you're putting content on it.
Putting content on it,
right?
Okay.
So from a trademark perspective, you want to obviously stay away from things that are clear trademarks. So if you have, I don't know, like Neiman Marcus,
like PayPal.me right now, it is very controversial name, PayPal.me. People are trying to acquire names like PayPal.asia, something like this. So I've heard about this right now.
Yeah, so there's clear trademarks where everyone would look at that and there's a company and it's a unique name. And there's things that are clearly not trademarked, which are very generic words. And then you've got the middle, the ambiguous middle, right?
Yeah.
Like all those names that are like, well, Apple's a fruit, and it's a company.
It's a company, right.
And I think a lot of the so it depends on your intent and how you use it. But generally speaking, the rule of thumb is don't try and make money by abusing
trademarks
or trading on other people's trademarks.
Yeah, people do this right
now.
Yeah,
I'm sure you can get away with it, but it's not a good practice. It's not a fair practice.
Not fair.
And there's plenty of ways to make money without infringing other people's marks.
Okay, so we should not acquire these kind of domains which are having trademark policies or
what ends up happening. I mean, the dangers would be that you acquire a trademark name and the company files a URS or UDRP, you lose the name. So it could just be like a waste of time and effort.
It is kind of cyber squatting, I think.
Right. And what's worse is that, I would call it trademark squatting.
Trademark squatting. Okay.
But I guess cyber squatting, it's a form of cyber squatting. The other thing is that once you start doing that, you develop a negative reputation.
A negative reputation online.
And you're going to, once you lose more cases, it prevents you from doing other things in the future. Like if you want to apply to be a registry, for example, they're going to look at your prior record. Right, so you don't want to be a bad actor.
Okay. So I hope you enjoy this interview right now. If you end this.
Very much so.
Yeah, I hope you enjoyed the interview, and I hope you enjoyed Domainfest Day 2, Day 3 also.
Absolutely.
Thank you for your time,
My
Raymond.
pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. I will cut it.